Hello, this is Rahman Ali with the topic integrity rules, which is one of the important topic in relational data model from chapter number 3 of the course database system. We have two integrity rules. One is called entity integrity, which is based on primary key, and the second one is referential integrity, which is based on foreign key. And we have already discussed them in detail in our previous lectures. You can check and understand from there. Now we are going to explain them with the help of examples. Now consider this is a table student which record this 10 students data, and the first column, this one student ID, is the primary key, and this primary key values must satisfy two rules. The first rule is that its value should not be null. For example, if I'm erasing this value and want to save this record, it will generate an error. The second condition is that no two values should be same, duplicate. For example, if I keep this value S1 and S1 for two different records, so the DBMS will not save it. So this is the two necessary condition for the primary key attribute, and if these are satisfied, we say that the integrity rules are validated. But if these are not satisfied, then they are primary key or integrity rule is invalidated. Now let's see a few examples from the invalidated primary key rule. This is a table, customer and ID is the primary key. But if we check it here, primary key value is duplicated. For two records, same value has been added, which is the violation of the first rule of the primary key or integrity rule. Now let's see another example, and that examples tell us that this is a customer table and ID is the primary key, and there are three records, but the primary key values for the third record is missing. This value is missing. This is null value or empty value, so the DBMS will not allow you to save this record. So this is the violation of the integrity rules. Now we will be checking the second rule, referential integrity, and let's see, this is referential integrity rule. We have two tables, referential integrity. For referential integrity rules, we must have two tables, so customer table and order table. Customer has the primary key as customer ID, and order has the primary key as order ID. But one customer can have many order, so the primary key attribute of the customer is being added here in the order table is the foreign key, and the referential integrity constraint says that the value of the primary key and foreign key must be matched. Mean the foreign key values, one should be matched against this one, the two should be matched against this two, and three should be matched against this three, which means that in this foreign key attribute, no value should be added which does not belong to the parent table. If I add 4 over here and add a new record, but there is no 4 entry, there is no customer with the ID number 4 here, so it will be a violation. Now let's check a few violation over here from different example scenario. Here we have the department table with the primary key as department ID. In only one department has been recorded. But here in the student table, one student has been added to department number 6. This is the foreign key. So the value of the foreign key 6 does not match this value, and this is the error message or violation of the referential integrity rule. But if we look into this one, this is the foreign key value and it matches this primary key value, so it is validated. Now let's see another example from the same referential integrity rule. We have two tables. Company with the company ID is the primary key, and the product with the product ID is the primary key. But in the product table, this foreign company ID has been added as a foreign key. Now we will be checking that whether value of this foreign key match the value of this primary key or not. So let's first check one. One is already available, so it is validated. 15 is not here. There is no company with the ID 15, so this referential integrity rule is violated. Now we will be going to implement them in relational DBMS. Let's end this slideshow and open a relational DBMS. For example, I am going to open this student enrollment database. In student enrollment database, I have two tables. That this is the student ID is the primary key, enrollment, and enrollment has a composite key. Student ID, course ID, and semester ID is the composite key. But here this student ID is the primary key and it has been used in the enrollment as a foreign key. Now we are going to see the entity integrity constraint. Entity integrity constraint says that this student ID is the primary key, so its value should not be null. If I go and delete this primary key and now want to save this record, the DBMS will generate an error. Let me check it. For example, I want to delete this one and want to save this record. It has generated the primary key value. The primary key value should not be null, so it has generated this error message. Now let's see. I put it again S8. Now it is saved and no error message is being generated. But now let me make it duplicate. This is S7 student 7 and I am making this one as student 7 and want to save it again. It gives me an error. So this is how the entity integrity rule is implemented to keep the data consistent and the data integrity should be maintained. And regarding the referential integrity, as we have discussed, that we need to have two tables. So I need to check against student ID and enrollment table. So I will be checking. Let's first me see that Student, uh, this is 9, it is this table has S1 to S10 student ID, and we are going to check the enrollment. In enrollment there are S5. So I am going to enter a student. This is the foreign key. So in the foreign key I am going to add a record for student number 15 whose course code in 101 and who is in spring 26 is being registered, and D is the grade. And now when I will add this record and I will save it, it will give me an error because S15 is not as there is no student with the ID S15 in the student table. So this will create an orphan record and will create an error. Now see that there is a related record is needed in the student table, so I cannot do it. But if I first go and add student number is 15 in this table, I am adding this one and for example i@gmail.com, and this is the phone number, and this is Abed, and this is from Peshawar. I have created this new record, and if I add this S15 now, it will be saved. Yes, no error. So it means that primary key and foreign key values are matched. This is how referential integrity and entity integrity constraints should be implemented in relational databases. Thank you.